The movie starts with Odin, the king of Asgard, narrating about his generation. He says that even before light existed, darkness did, in the form of the Dark Elves, whose leader Malekith wanted to return the universe to darkness. He wanted to do this using an ancient force called the Aether, which brings only destruction if it falls into the wrong hands. He planned to achieve this during the convergence. The convergence occurs when the 9 realms align in a straight line. Then, Malekith could turn all 9 realms into darkness at once. To stop Malekith, Odin's father Bor attacked Malekith's planet Svartalfheim. In this attack, he also killed soldiers empowered by the Aether. Seeing the attack, Malekith tried to escape with the Aether, but Bor caught him and took him to Asgard. As Malekith lost the Aether, he sacrificed his own people and vanished with his lieutenant Algrim and some Dark Elves for centuries. Everyone thought all the Dark Elves were dead. To keep the Aether safe, Bor hid it underground. In the present time, Loki is imprisoned in Asgard's dungeon for causing chaos on Earth. Meanwhile, Thor, along with his friends Sif, Volstagg, and the Warriors 3, is in Vanaheim. They are fighting the Marauders there. After repeated uprisings, the Asgardians have gone to various realms to secure the 9 realms, and Vanaheim is the last one. The battle is intense. When Thor arrives, he kills their biggest warrior with a single hammer strike, causing the remaining soldiers to surrender. After winning the battle, Thor returns to Asgard. Odin reminds him of his responsibilities as a good king and tells him that though Thor fights battles, his heart is restless elsewhere. Odin tells Thor that he must choose a queen from Asgard and points at Lady Sif, hinting that he will never accept a mortal, meaning Jane, Thor's lover whom he left 2 years ago to return to Asgard. On Earth, Jane Foster is on a date with Dr. Richard. Her friend Darcy arrives and gives her an electronic device that shows strange readings. Jane follows Darcy and her intern to the place where these readings are found. There they meet some kids who show how when they touch rocks, they float in the air and vanish when thrown, only to reappear again, sometimes not returning at all. Seeing all this, Jane thinks that she last saw such readings when Thor returned to Earth. She follows the readings alone to an empty place and is suddenly pulled into a portal, emerging on a cliff where Bifrost markings can be seen. Jane tries to call someone but only hears her echo. She sees a pillar, approaches it, and when she touches the red thing inside, it enters her body. Unaware of what has happened, Jane collapses unconscious. At the same time, we see the spaceship activate, where Malekith and his lieutenant Algrim had hidden. As the spaceship activates, the people inside wake up. In Asgard, Thor meets Heimdall, the guardian of Bifrost, and asks him about Jane. Heimdall says he cannot see Jane. Meanwhile, Jane is seen floating inside a red vortex. When she wakes up, she finds herself back in the same building where she had come with Darcy and the intern. She runs out and sees that the police are searching for her. Darcy tells her that she has been missing for 5 hours. During their conversation, it starts to rain but a dome forms around them, preventing any rain from falling inside. Looking through the dome, Jane sees Thor standing at a distance. She goes to him and slaps him twice, but Thor says nothing. Thor tells her that Heimdall couldn't see Jane so he came here. Jane scolds Thor for leaving her 2 years ago. Meanwhile, Darcy comes to her and says that she might get arrested. Hearing this, Jane goes to the police for negotiation. There, the police officers come to take Jane with them. Odin arrives near Jane and checks her body. Her body glows red. Seeing this, Odin becomes worried and says this is not normal. The healer there says this infection is protecting Jane. Thor says the infection is not protecting Jane but defending itself. Then Odin takes Thor and Jane with him and tells them the story of the Dark Elves. He also tells them that their leader Malekith created a weapon from the darkness called the Aether. Unlike other weapons, which are solid, the Aether is fluid and can turn matter into dark matter. Malekith wanted to use it to cover all 9 realms in darkness. Odin says they were all killed. Thor responds that the Aether was supposed to be destroyed with them. But now that it's inside Jane, how can they believe all elves are dead? Jane asks Odin if he knows whether the Aether can be removed from her body. But Odin has no idea. As the Aether becomes active again, Malekith wakes up from his deep sleep. Thor learns that Malekith will attack again and promises to protect Jane. Heimdall stands guarding Asgard when he senses something unusual. Then an intense battle scene is shown. Malekith extracts the Aether from Jane's body. As soon as he takes it all, Loki drops his illusion. Then Thor attacks the Aether with lightning using his hammer. But the Aether is so powerful that it has no effect. Malekith bonds with the Aether and creates a fusion, becoming extremely powerful. With the Aether, he returns to his ship. Here comes one of the most emotional scenes of the movie. Loki dies fighting Algrim. Thor's arm gets broken. Meanwhile, on Earth, a big block vanishes and then reappears from under the ground. Eric says it's happening faster than the calculated time. Eric, Darcy, and Jane go to the lab. Thor and Jane hide on a cliff and find another portal, which they use to reach London and meet Darcy, Eric, and Ian. As soon as Jane returns to Earth, she and Eric start research again. They find out that all 9 realms will converge at one point. Thor says that although they can't destroy the Aether, they can destroy Malekith. So they must finish him in the short alignment window. Eric calculates and says Malekith will come to Greenwich when he arrives on Earth. The next day, they set up their experiment at Greenwich and wait. Jane and Eric stay at the tower while Malekith's ship arrives there. Another fierce fight happens. As Malekith opens the portals to all 9 realms, he starts sending Aether's energy through them. Jane and Eric tell Thor that to stop this, he must take the experiment closer to the ship. Thor approaches Malekith and throws the experiment at him. Malekith foolishly catches it, which splits his body into 2 parts that get teleported to different places. Jane comes to Thor and tries hard to wake him up but fails. Then she sits beside him with her eyes closed, waiting for the ship to crash. The ship crashes but not on Jane, instead, it falls on Malekith on another planet. Thor leaves Jane again and returns to Asgard. There he meets Odin and tells him he does not want to be king of Asgard. Then, surprisingly, it's revealed that Odin has actually been Loki all along. Yes, Loki didn't die, his death was just an illusion. In the post-credit scene, Sif and Volstagg meet the Collector and hand over the Aether, telling him that the Tesseract is already with them and they don't want to keep 2 Infinity Stones in one place.